Hello, welcome to another edition of the Portsmouth Basketball Podcast. I am Mark.
I am Paul. Hello.
Hello. We got some new intro sounds going on here today.
That I quite like it. Feels like Stranger Things kind of thing.
It's got something going on a bit Stranger Thingsy, but anyway, thank you very much for joining us. If you haven't listened to any of other stuff before, why not? Go back and have a listen, but not after you hear this one first.
But there's a reason, Mark, there's new intro music, isn't there?
There is a reason. Can you tell me what it is? Enlighten us.
Well, we've got lots of feedback from people, and a lot of the feedback is we were kind of complaining about, the BBL a bit, like why is basketball not as popular and stuff like that. And then a few people were just saying
that was a polite way of putting it, yeah.
Like they don't know anything about the BBL, and
no.
And the more I looked into it, the more irritated I got. And that's where we started talking. Let's do a podcast about the BBL, and if people enjoy it, let us know, and we'll keep doing it, and we'll turn it into a BBL show.
Guide us, Paul. Take us on the journey of the BBL.
Well, the journey I went on.
Show us the light.
And this is where I got really annoyed.
How annoyed?
Well, everyone else who is listening, you can go on this same journey. Go into Google and type in BBL.
Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Do you know where I'm going with that?
Yeah, don't do that.
I didn't even know what that was. So I typed in BBL. The top 4 results were...
The top 4 pages, probably.
Top 4 results were Brazilian butt lift.
Do you not even know what that is?
Well, something on your... down there somewhere, innit? I don't know what that is. All right? That's a female thing, right?
Well, let's not... I don't know. Maybe... I don't know if any dudes get it, but...
Well, anyway...
Would you consider it?
Anyway, I saw that was on the top 4, and I thought, well, hang on. This is the main basketball league in England, or in Britain, in United Kingdom, and it's not even the number 1 search on Google. And I just thought that was really odd. And then... So I actually typed BBL basketball, and then I got taken to the Basketball England website. So it was a little journey. I didn't even realise there was a British Basketball League website until like 5 minutes in of, me looking this up. So one of the things I was going to say is like someone really needs to promote the BBL, because the more you delve into the league, and you've been doing this as well, it is bloody exciting. When you see some of those arenas they got, it looks really cool, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. They're definitely what people are. I think, we'll start off by saying we went into this. Originally we were going to go and do a lot of research and read into it, but actually, as Paul pointed out, you kind of taint your own views by looking at loads of articles and stuff. So probably 10 minutes we've spent just before the show. We know what we're going to do. Let's now just within 10 minutes, and it probably took 3 or 4 minutes on each team. We literally took the teams. How many teams are there in the BBL at the moment?
There are currently 10 teams.
But that is changing.
In the BBL. Yeah, I mean, this is really exciting. So the more you look into this, so there are 10 teams at the moment, and we're going to go, I think we picked 5 each that we were going to talk about. But this is the exciting news that there are potentially another 3 teams entering the league, which is Reading Rockets. That's a really established club just up the road. We all know about them in the area, so that kind of makes sense. If they can go through that financial, they got the, wherever they're playing the arena, great. Birmingham and Edinburgh. I mean, personally, I'd love to see what the Edinburgh setup would be. That sounds amazing. So, there are 10 teams at the moment, but it sounds like this is going back up to 13 quite quick.
Yeah. So one of the things I was going to start at the end, but one of the first things that's changed, and I think the exciting part, is that 777 Partners are a big investment company, and they're invested in lots of things. I'm just looking on their site where it says, sports, media, aviation, insurance, financial tech. There's someone with a lot of money, but they've bought, they're backing the BBL at the moment. So they actually own 45% of the BBL.
Oh, okay.
And they did that with the princely sum of $7 million.
Wow. Wow.
So 7 million bought them 45% of the league. And then the other 10 teams own a piece of the other pieces of the league. And that's how. So everyone gets 5%. That's all added up. There's a little 5% in there somewhere else. And then 45% goes to 777 partners. What's interesting is one of the franchises that they own outside of that is London Lions. So they actually own the London Lions as well as owning the league. So there's a conflict of interest.
We've got a new rule. If you beat us, you lose 5 points in the league.
We just made a new rule. I mean, surely there's a conflict of interest. But I was more interested in the fact that it's 7 million. £7 million bought them 45% of the league.
Yeah.
Not just a team, the league. How much did Jordan sell Charlotte for?
Oh, I mean, we're talking billions, wasn't it?
Yeah.
3.5, 4, something like that.
Yeah. He made absolute fortune on that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The more I look into the BBL, the more excited I'm getting. And that's, you know what? I'm looking at a map now of, let me turn this around so you can see it. I'm looking at a map. That is a map of the country with all the current BBL teams. I mean, closest to us are the Surrey Scorchers.
For those who don't know, we're in Portsmouth, and Portsmouth is on the very bottom, right in the centre, at the very bottom of the UK, where the Isle of Wight is.
Yeah, go look at the Isle of Wight, go up.
Look at the shining diamond on the bottom of the coast.
But the first thing that jumps out of that, a potential Edinburgh team. Yeah, 100% makes sense. Maybe a Welsh team would kind of, expand that.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the teams we gave a reach out to us recently, shout out to, I think it's Brewers Basketball. They're in Wales. They were divisional champions out in Wales. I'm not sure what in the division, so I won't jump in, so please correct me. But yeah, shout out to them because they do some great media stuff. So
okay.
Yeah, the ones I showed you with the cartoon characters that they did.
Oh, yeah. That looked really cool.
Very, very cool stuff. But they're a Welsh team, so maybe there's
scope there. But then look at this. I mean, you could pick a few areas of the country where there's this big bit of space. So between Plymouth and Surrey, even you could argue all the way down to Kent, there's this massive space. So there is definitely scope for a South Coast team there.
Yeah. I mean, just looking into some of the teams themselves, they've all had different histories. I mean, obviously we covered Portsmouth's basketball history, and originally they came from somewhere else, were bought down here, and then they were sold back off to go elsewhere, but then that didn't work out, so then it just disbanded and off it went. But
you know what? And I'm going to call everyone out here, okay?
Ooh.
I'm calling everyone out, including myself, including you, including all the listeners, including everyone. Okay, because if you like football, and you support Portsmouth, some people also say, oh yeah, I like Manchester United, I like Man City. Why is it when it's basketball we don't do that? So no one has a BBL team, do they?
No.
And it's almost like because we're supporting our local club and we can see that maybe one day in the future our club will be there, and so you don't do it. But same thing for the Kestrels. They were a big club. They were doing really well with NBL Div 1. Why don't we pick a Budweiser team? Sorry, a Budweiser team. That's the original name for the league, I think, back in the 80s. But why don't we all pick a BBL team and support that team and get that jersey? That's what I'm calling people out on. I think that's a great idea because basketball's only going to get bigger in our country if we support it. And
I mean, that's I think one of the things that, jumping in on that's what 777 partners have really done, certainly with the London Lions and a couple of the other teams. If you notice the level of media and the level that they're pushing out has definitely risen just in the last 12 months of all of that going off. They're definitely trying to polish it and take an unloved league. I think even on their website, and I'm not calling them out on it, but actually there's some interesting wording that talks about how they're positioned, should we say. And I'm literally going to it right now because the wording was very transforming potential into reality, leveling up an undervalued league.
Yeah, but there's so much scope here. there is so much scope here. I mean, you felt it and I felt it when we were going through just looking at the arenas they're playing in, and we go, wow, this actually looks really cool. And we were both saying, I wish we had this in our area.
Also, the some of the comments we've got back from people about, what's house taking the mick out of the British teams, but also in the Euro leagues and stuff. Again, it's the same thing. It's like, why am I not following more?
Yeah, and we should.
Because some of the teams in the Spanish leagues, for example, that's like the second tier in the world. Granted, what we put in the NBA, that's the one people want to get to, etc., etc., and that's where a lot of money is. But the top earners, for example, in Spain, will still be on 3-4 million a year. It's not small change. Like, they are hard-fought professional leagues. Same as in Germany and some as other places, just in the EuroLeague. Like, Europe has such a massive impact on basketball. We're seeing it now with like Joker and Luka, and we've seen it with Manu Ginobili in the past, coming from like the South America and so forth. But some of the other, a lot of people have, it's been very Americanized for a very long time, and they've let the NBA shine. And maybe, in fairness to the NBA, they did a very good job, because the NBA is the place you want to be as a player. So because that's the place you want to be, you'd reach out to NBA Europe. You'd do something in NBA Europe or NBA Asia or NBA Africa, and they're doing all of these very, very clever things to get money. At the end of the day, you look at Adam Silver and you look at all the people in the NBA. It's a business.
Well, on that note, and again, I'm calling Sky Sports out on this, because you go to Sky Sports and you look up football, all the leagues. You go netball, the leagues, rugby, go through all of them. Now, when you come to basketball, it doesn't say basketball.
No.
It says NBA.
Yep.
And I looked at it and thought, well, hang on. So Sky Sports even has a deal with the BBL,
Yep.
but they're not even publicising from what... Or, mate, if they are, it wasn't easy. And I just thought, why don't you have basketball and split that between
Is that
NBL...
what BBC do?
You what?
BBC do that, don't they, or something similar?
BBC, I mean, as an example, I saw an article, funnily enough, just happened to pop up today regarding one of the teams, the Caledonia Gladiators, when they won they were talking about their success and where they're going. But it was from an article from BBC Three, and it was referencing something that happened back in March. And I just thought,
Current.
the season's already started, and it was like...
Do people even know the season started?
I don't know. And it was one of those things like, I would love to go on Sky Sports or BBC and just get the latest news, but you have to actually go to like Basketball England or the BritishBasketballLeague.com website to get any of that information. And I just thought it was really odd with Sky Sports that it says NBA rather than basketball. The only other sport that does that is American football, where it says NFL.
Yep.
But with basketball... Oh man, come on.
American football's not really played many other places. There's a few, but not really. That's its own thing.
But basketball, the Sky Sports website should have basketball, and then it highlights, here's the NBA and here's the BBL. Now I wonder if it's because if they do that, they have to put in articles and news.
Well, maybe, but also as well, you don't forget, if you're in the UK, and it won't apply. It might apply to some of the other listeners, because obviously Sky, Fox, the network, etc., they all have a lot of rights for the NBA outside of America. It's all about rights management, so they will be paying a certain fee. So if you type watch the NBA or go to NBA.com, type it in Google, when you hit that link, it sends you the Sky Sports, and then you have to go up and then press the little link at the bottom to look at just the normal NBA page and not what drivel Sky wants to give you.
Yeah.
Now I've got nothing against Sky in terms of they're doing what they're doing, they're making their money, good for them. But the reality is, the NBA already gives me the information I want. Who's won, who hasn't. When you get sent to the Sky Sports page, the biggest problem is spoilers.
Yeah, you do. Especially in playoff times.
You can't get away. It's like if you want to look at something in the UK, if you go into the NBA, if you've got your app, And that's what everyone uses now. You go in
can
the app, you
hide
hit
the
it, hide the scores. I don't want to know. You know, I've had people do it to me. I've done it to people purely by accident because I thought I was talking about one game, they were talking about another, and you go, oh, I can't believe they did that. What I don't want is to go. You just don't go on social media if you're ready to watch a game. You don't go anywhere near it.
And also, I think with what I noticed from that British perspective, looking at the NBA, and this is just my view on it, but it feels like we get that narrative that is copied, which is why I said to you, when we do the history and we talk about these clubs in the BBL, let's give an unfiltered view, not someone else's opinion online, and just say it like how we feel.
Absolutely.
And what I feel like when you do go on some British news websites and you read NBA, you're like, you read the article and go, you actually really don't know what you're talking about this sport, because you read articles and you'll read something like, and he scored from beyond the arc or something like that.
I'm not going to throw her. I'm not purposely throwing her under the bus, but I'm sure everyone remembers. I believe it was Claire Balding, the lady who does the horse racing commentary and various other commentary. She's very good at that, but I think they threw her under a bus because they went, "You go and commentate for the first game that Jordan came back."
Oh, okay.
And do you remember that?
I do remember.
And I called it. I still to this day called it. I said he's going to throw an airball, and he did. His first shot was a total airball. But they had her commentating, and she's like, "Oh right, so now he's going to the line, and
the
is
guy's
this still
teaching
the 2
her,
points." And you
think, what are you doing?
Well, they got stitched up because there was obviously someone who was meant to do it and didn't, and they were like, "You're there, you do it." That's
if
her
you
job.
stay
That's
up
fair enough.
to listen to that game, you don't need to be schooled about how the game is played, do you?
No, and that is full credit to her for just saying, I'm just going to do it because it's my job. But that all you get is a bad product at the end. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, let's go through these teams. So for all our listeners.
How many of the teams, before you even looked at this list, how many of the teams did you even know?
I knew about the Bristol Flyers. I knew about the London Lions and the Surrey Scorchers. So I knew 3.
Oh, see, I knew 3, but I knew Bristol and I knew London, but I knew the Newcastle Eagles.
Okay.
The others, no.
Well, so what we've done is we've halved this. So Mark's taken 5, I've taken 5. Mark's done a bit of research, I've done a bit of research, and we've shown each other our stuff. So, well, let's just go through it. So you go first.
No, ladies first.
Well, yours begins with B, so you might as well.
Oh, God, look at you. All right, we'll start with Bristol Flyers.
And you like this team?
I like Bristol Flyers for a few reasons. One, and the most importantly, it's their journey. They were a BBL team, merged, and they were 2 teams originally. It was, I've got to look at Filton Flyers and the Bristol Academy, and they both merged and then became a BBL team when they were promoted in 2014. So they've been in the BBL since then, but they're owned by the dude who owns Bristol City Football Club.
So he's picking up on all that resource together. Yeah.
And he owns Bristol Bears Rugby Club. So his group owns those 2 and the Bristol Flyers. So they've got their own sports group network. And the best thing about that is you've got all the infrastructure and all the technology, but all the media. So it's not just their logo looks pretty cool. But when you see the media, the way they do the advertising, the graphics, they've borrowed a couple of kits maybe from.
I think
Miami,
everyone borrows kits.
Everyone's big borrowed, and it looks very similar to the Miami Heat kit, I think. But it is a good-looking kit. But the investment that they've made in that, and the guy who owns the club owns Hardgroves Lansdowne, who's a massive, he's a billionaire. So money's not an issue, and he's putting it in the right places. I think they have got, I won't say good attitude, but they've been in the league for a little while, 9 years, but they've only been in the playoffs, I think, once or twice. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Now, the reason I like them this year is because they're going to Europe, and they're doing there's a weird mini league. Not weird, but there's 15 teams, they all get together or something like that. And it's a knockout that was based on the youth that happened in 2021, 22. Post-COVID, they were just doing these, let's promote some Northern Europe basketball, I think it was. And they're going to be in there with, there's another team, I think it's the Eagles, I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. But
What I did think about the Bristol was their marketing came across really well.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's all so slick, so slick, and you can tell they're leaning on everything they've got.
They got resource, haven't they?
It's all that resource and everything that they've got behind them with the football players and how they introduce it, because they're introducing this team and putting it forward like it's something that we should already know. As soon as you go onto their page and you look at all their media and stuff, you think, why haven't I seen this before?
Yeah.
That's how good they're doing it.
But their current stadium is the lowest in the league at the moment. So it's 750, right?
750.
Yeah.
It's so they share it at the moment, but they're getting a new stadium built in Ashton Gate, which is right next to the big football stadium.
Okay.
And that's going to be they said 3,265, I think it was.
Which
Or
kind of comes
3,600
across like the standard across the league, isn't it?
Yes.
Like 3,000.
3,500 basically. It's going to be a nice thing that's going to end up in X amount of years whenever they build it. But the guy's happy to put his money in it, and that's what I think is really exciting. It's not the first team on our lists either that people are putting money into them, and for the future, not just like right now.
So one of the things I just want to pick you up on what you said about European basketball. When you actually do well and get to go to European competition, you need a certain capacity of arena.
Yes.
So from my understanding, I think it's 2,000 people. And currently you got Leicester, Caledonia, London, Newcastle, Manchester and Sheffield. So Bristol will be able to join that once their new stadium's built.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And it's called the European North Basketball League. That's the one that they're joining.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to have teams from Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Poland, Czech Republic, Kosovo, Israel, and Ukraine.
I wonder if they've just kind of got together and said, we've all got like 1,000 people.
All of those have got a couple of clubs, and it's like 2 or so clubs in each of those countries. They all getting together to play in this little mini sort of league.
Wow.
But that's really cool. So it's nice seeing that they're branching out.
Bristol. Can I just say one thing about the logo?
Yes.
And I'm looking at it now. It took me a while to process it. I don't know if that makes sense what I'm saying. I looked at it and thought it was like an eagle.
Yeah.
But and then I thought, is that an eagle? But then when I zoomed into it, I realised it was like a jet fighter.
Yeah. So you know the history of Filton and Bristol is aviation.
Okay, and that's
why it's the home of aviation, because they were Bristol Flyers, but also
because the plane is flying towards you.
Yeah.
It looked like
it's
eyes.
very eaglish.
Yeah, eaglish, and I just thought, oh right, is that? So it just took me, but once I processed it, and it does look really cool.
You see the bridge in the background is the Edinburgh Kingdom Bridge House, the bridge, it's the famous bridge.
Reminds me of the Golden State a little bit.
It does. That's the famous like near Ashton Gate where you can go down and look through, and you'll see we get very close to that bridge over in Bristol. And they've got a ball on it. I'm a fan of a ball. I'm always a fan of a ball on a logo.
So, are you going to support the Bristol Flyers, Mark?
It's tempting. It is tempting.
Are you going to wait to the end?
I'm going to wait to the end until my decision, but at the moment, they could be my front runner.
Okay.
It's over to you now, isn't it?
Right. Well, the next one is the Caledonia Gladiators. So, sorry, my voice is a bit going today. So they were formerly known as the Glasgow Rocks. Now they've been in the league for about 25 years. The more you look into this, the more exciting it is. So they're about to spend 20 million on an arena. And this is a temporary arena, which is going to be like 1,600. If anyone's got a spare 2 minutes, go online and look up Caledonia Gladiators and look up the stadium tour. And just bear in mind, this is the part-time option. It looks great. It's absolutely great. But their end goal is to have a 6,000 seated stadium arena. I
wonder if they're doing anything else there. I wonder if they're doing, typically in the NBA, well, not typically, but you get a lot of NHL teams and ice hockey teams that use the same arena and the ice is actually underneath the flooring, and then they bring the flooring out for the NBA.
Oh, maybe. Well, why not? Why not? If you've got that space, why
the
not?
ice is permanent ice. It's just there underneath, and then they obviously put the NBA floor comes over on top. And the arenas are obviously used for everything, aren't they? They have stadium gigs and all sorts of stuff there. But having an arena in a big city is very clearly very, very beneficial.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely scope there, and you know what? It was just exciting reading about it. I was like, wow, okay,
Is
this
that
is
your
really
Scottish
cool.
heritage coming through?
Yeah, there's a little bit thinking about it. I mean, I would say they're the current champions of the BBL trophy. Now, I don't know if anyone can help me with this, but looking online, it wasn't clear. You've got the BBL trophy and the BBL Cup. Now, I didn't know what was more prestigious. I'm assuming it's the BBL trophy, but it wasn't crystal clear. Maybe they're just like the FA Cup and the Carling Cup. I don't know.
Assuming that's what it is.
But
Did you say Carling Cup?
oh, it's not what it's not called anymore.
I don't know.
But it was like that's the way I looked at it. The like the FA Cup and
Yes, one's like a league trophy, and one is you've gone through a knockout and there's a cup sort of thing. But I guess the cup would be everyone, or is it just everyone in the BBL as well?
I don't know. I don't know. I think you do get people with the cup. I think people get invited to it.
So what people misunderstand as well is in the UK, as well as the BBL, the tier below it, the confusion is the NBL, isn't it?
Yes, but I think it's really key
Yep.
to highlight that it's not a pyramid. This is a pyramid of one. So you're in the BBL, that is a pyramid of one. When you go to the NBL, it is a pyramid that
that's more like the
one,
British
two,
football
three.
leagues, isn't it? Where you have feeder teams and Sunday league teams, local leagues, right up through to those sort of levels. But this is its own thing. I won't say like a Champions League, but it's its own thing, isn't it? You don't.
Yeah.
People can't get relegated from it, I guess.
No, well, it's like the NBA really. But so the Gladiators, they're one of the older teams at 25 years, and they really look like an up and coming team who's going to be competing for the BBL championship.
I wasn't a fan of their media.
Go on.
I think some of the other teams are a bit more exciting to look at, and whether it's I won't say the logo and the presentation.
Yeah, I know what you mean with the logo. It's a little bit like that. Head coach. I did see a brief interview and photo shoot of him. He looks like a blast. He looked quite cool.
I mean, you see that with the logo, you can see there's the Scottish flag. You can see what's going on there.
I didn't even pick up on the Scottish flag and on the ball. Didn't even pick up on that. Yeah, that looks cool now. It looks cooler now you said that.
As soon as you see it, you go, that's very, very nice. I didn't notice it the right way up. When you look at it upside down, it's a lot clearer. It's a lot clearer. But
it's a bit boring, isn't it?
Do you know what I think it is? It's the text underneath. If the text went round it, the ball was in the centre and the text went round it, or something. No,
forget the text, forget the background. Just have the ball do it. The logo, the ball, and the thing.
Miami Heat one.
Yeah, a bit like that.
Just like the Miami Heat thing. It's so close, and it's just like something on that, and that's it. It's the text.
But the other side of that, you're called the Gladiators.
That's a very cool name.
I mean, it is a very cool name, but like obviously you got the film Gladiator. Remember the mask he wore? I mean, could you have a mask on that, or like a sword, gladiator sword?
I mean, we don't want to
a shield.
Some sort of S&M team. It's like you don't have masks and you look like.
No, but if you had like,
Zorro.
Okay, what about like a shield with two gladiator swords going across it? I don't know, and then that logo on the shield. I don't know.
But what is the? I mean,
it was one of the less.
In Caledonia,
interesting logo. In
Caledonia,
until you said the Scottish flag.
What was the thing? Is there a specific tartan for the area? Is there a specific regional thing? Is there?
Well, that would be clans, I guess. But yeah, again, that would be really cool.
Caledonian, wouldn't it? I don't know.
I hope they got a mascot who looks like a gladiator who comes out with tartan. That would be great. But you know what?
Is there tartan on their kit? Because I guess they couldn't, because like you said, it's
dark
clan.
blue. I couldn't see it, but
Because it's clans, isn't it? So you wouldn't have.
No, but that's a great idea.
Yeah,
that is a great
but what
idea.
if you're like, I'm the next LeBron, Michael Jordan, but hang on, that's not my clan, that's my rival clan. You'd be like, I can't play for you.
What a unique kit, though.
I would.
Wow.
A kit with tartan on, Caledonia. You're welcome.
I'll tell you what.
You are welcome.
If they had a kit that was a tartan kit, I'd get one. I'd get
Really?
the top. Yeah, that is the best idea
Listen,
I've heard ever.
You've got
Jesus.
Boston Celtics. You've got that kit for ages because you loved their logo, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, what? That is an amazing idea. Jeez, Mark. Well, anyway.
You could have the tartan just down, the stripe down the middle of your shorts. That stripe down the middle.
Yeah, like a tartan stripe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like have the whole kit like a real. I mean, look, there's so much scope
Tartan
there.
kit. It would look like a
So much scope.
Team Burberry.
But this is a team, I would say, in the last 10 years is, roughly been top 5. I mean, they won the BBL and just before COVID or coming back to COVID. I'm trying to work that one out.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
It's got an asterisk. Oh, they got an asterisk on the win.
All of them have an asterisk on this
2019-20, there's an asterisk. Yeah.
Oh, does that count then?
Oh, they only played 15 games. That's why.
Yeah.
They only played 15 games. So, you know what? But they finished top of the league. So, but definitely looking at the team, looking at what they're doing, they look like an up-and-coming team.
Very, very
I know.
comfortable with them.
The only thing, the negative
tartan
is the logo.
If they bring, but what if they bring that tartan out?
Boom. We're done. We're done.
Caledonia. All you've got to do is change all of your kit and you'll get one more supporter.
So, yeah. That's the Catalonia Gladiators.
Right. Caledonia. You get immediately disqualified for
What did I say?
You said Catalonia.
What did you say?
Caledonia.
Caledonia. That's what I said. Caledonia Gladiators.
Get out. Well, that could be your team.
Definitely thinking about it, Mark.
Well, that moves me on to my namesake, Cheshire Phoenix. 1984, Paul. 1984. They play in a stadium that's got 1,400 capacity. And looking around it, reasonable arena. It looks like the same as some of the, I won't say the older arenas. But my question for the arenas, actually we'll come to that in a minute, but it's all to do with where the seating layout is. But yeah, the Cheshire Phoenix, interestingly, they were Cheshire Jets up until 2012, then they withdrew.
That's a cool name.
They were the Jets. So the Jets withdrew, and then they came back as the Phoenix because they were rising from the ashes.
Ah.
Yeah.
And they still fly, I guess. Jet flies.
Yeah.
Phoenix flies.
So 93 to 2015, I think 2015, they were based in Chester. And that's where they were. And now they're just slightly outside of it. So, that's good in terms of the locality. I like their logo a lot. A lot. Not just a little bit, a lot. I like a logo with a ball on it. I like the colours. The colours are Indiana kind of colours.
Yeah.
And it's very simple. You see the word Phoenix, and then you can see like Cheshire. It's in there, but Phoenix is.
I like the way the Phoenix is almost like it's holding the ball.
Yeah, it's a simple logo, but if you imagine that on, and I think the standard has to be the Leatherman jacket. The jacket, one of those sort of ones, and you had that little logo as a crest there. I think that
like
was
varsity jacket.
Varsity jacket, yeah.
The only thing when I saw that logo, I was like, could the Phoenix look a bit meaner?
Meaner?
Yeah. I mean, if I was going into a battle, I might not take that Phoenix.
Is the Phoenix mean as a animal?
Well, it saved Harry Potter.
Yeah, but
in Harry Potter 2.
And it was called False.
Oh, actually, he just cried. He hooked out some eye and stuff like that. Yeah, no. I wouldn't say they're mean, but they could be ferocious. And that doesn't say ferocious to me. It says I could go up and pet it.
It looks quite, I'm not saying majestic-y, like regally And I think that's maybe because of the dark blue and the yellow. Anyway,
Sure, if the wings came up higher, like that's coming around the ball, maybe.
well, yeah, it could be. I mean, I'd say they definitely, I want to say, could improve how they have presented it. It should be a bit more bolder. But the stadium that they play in, and that's one of the things that I was quite interested in, is one of the stadiums that has your normal bleachers on both sides,
Yeah.
but not at the ends. And it's a common thing.
Oh, it is a common theme.
So why
but
is
hang
that?
on, have you got? Don't tell me you got badminton lines on that.
Badminton lines.
Oh
Do you love it?
no.
Why not?
I mean, when I was looking through on my list, it was very. I didn't see any lines on the court, and I was just like, wow, this is what you want to see.
So that's 2015 that arena was opened.
That must be the only club that has lines in the BBL then.
Probably, and it's got the bleachers the way it's set out, sort of 1,400. So you think it's 700 roughly each side.
I reckon those badminton players are sitting in the audience loving it. Loving it. Bloody badminton players. Ruining it for everyone.
So, 84.
Maybe that's the halftime show. They have a
no.
badminton game. And it's like, well done, David.
If you think 1984, they've been in the league or up there for almost 40 years.
Yeah, I mean,
So 39 years. They had to withdraw at one point and then obviously came back.
well, I think they were founded in 1984 and they joined the league in 91. So they're the fourth oldest club in the BBL.
Yeah, because they were the Jets, and then obviously that changed to the Phoenix in 94, I think it was 93, 94. They changed. That's when they changed.
And that stadium, arena looks okay, but that's the second smallest.
Bleachers, yep. And again, you just got this simple. Here's the court, bleachers, nothing on either end. You've just got
No, yeah,
rim.
That's a theme.
And it's a theme in it, and I'm curious why. What is there? Is there some, not saying like health and safety thing, but I wonder it's purely if it's down to just size. Because the one that you showed, the picture of the Caledonia one with their, I want to say temporary in brackets.
The
stadium,
temp one was the same thing.
and the in Manchester, and the home, I won't say the home, but the main place in the UK where there's a lot of GB training, same thing.
Yeah, maybe it must be cost. Must be cost.
I'm just guessing it's square footage, because if you imagine you've got to go that far back with bleachers, if you have to go that far back again on each end,
yeah,
you're just making, and the price of land in the UK is way more than most other places. So, although you're still talking about cities, so I don't know.
And,
Anyway, that's
and
Cheshire Phoenix.
what are they like in the league? Are they with their? Have they won it before?
I mean, they've done okay. I won't say I won't say not thrilling. It's probably not the word to use, but they've done okay so far. What's their highest? Okay, they're a player. They're just knocking around.
Okay.
Nothing too exciting. Maybe they've won 2 BBL championships in that time and then been to the playoffs. But if you think 39 years, they've won 2 championships. That's
Okay.
actually, if I say it that way, that's better than Dallas Mavericks.
There you go. Mark, I think Cheshire should be up there for you just because of your name.
Well, they played in Chester.
Yeah,
That's where they
exactly.
play. Oh, I don't
Are they
know.
up there for you?
No.
It's out of order.
No. Sorry, fellas.
Wow.
Team Chester, listen, if you want to invite us up and we can come and watch a game and have a chat with a couple of you,
They might be at your second team then.
yeah, you might make a number 2.
Wow. Well, so next up, I have got the Leicester Riders. Mark, this is a biggie. Leicester Riders, they were founded in 1967, but they joined the BBL in 1987, and they are one of the oldest teams in the BBL. Now,
Wow.
just going to go over the last, 11 years. In the last 11 years, they have not finished outside the top 4.
Blimey. I mean, in fairness, I didn't know their name was the Riders, but I knew Leicester always had a strong team.
Yeah. So they've they've not finished outside the top 4 for 11 years. And within those 11 years, only 2 of those years they finished 4th. The rest of, if you take out those 2 seasons where they finished 4th, this is going to blow your mind now. Take out those 2 seasons when they finished 4th. The other 9 seasons, they've either finished 1st or 2nd in the league. This is a big player.
Blimey.
Yeah, this is an absolute big player. They've
so just before you go any further than that, if you look on from an outsider now, everyone who's listening is clearly going to go look them up.
Mm-hmm.
Does their media, website, all that stuff, does that actually show a team that has got that sort of heritage?
Mark, I'll be honest, I can't remember their website. So maybe that answers your question. I don't know. Look it up.
Let's have a look. I'll have a
Look it
right
up. But they have got the current MVP of the BBL playing for them.
now. Oh, really?
They got the current MVP, and he's won it 2 years in a row. And that's Gino Crandall. So they've got the best player, in theory, playing for them at the moment. And I'm just going back through their history. They're up there for everything. They're up there for anything. So, you know what? They are going to be potential league winners. Or they're going to be around there.
Potential league winners.
And they currently, I mean, look at that. That is their home court. It's nice, isn't it?
Oh, that is nice.
That's nice. So they
Do you know
play.
what? That's not far off the image that Bristol Flyers have been pushing around
Okay.
as what they want to get to. What's their capacity?
It's called the Morningside Arena.
Yeah.
And
okay. That could,
it's 3,000.
their site. That is saying.
Damn, look at that. I mean, that's good. Look at that.
We're a proper team. Yeah, that's super credit to you guys. That looks really good.
Yeah, that looks really
that's
good.
NBA. That's straight out of the NBA, that is.
Yeah. I mean, that's setting a standard there, isn't it?
And look at the top where you were talking about BBL, WM.
Yeah,
it's
it's
all
pushing you towards where you need to go.
This is where.
That's the great. I mean, their media looks brilliant as well.
That's superb.
So, I mean, that court looks nice. They've expanded the ends a little bit. So I can't see from this picture exactly how many rows, but I'd assume they're getting, I don't know. I'm guessing maybe about 15 rows back at the ends of the court behind the basket. But some of the courts you just have a wall, don't you? So
who are they connected with?
What do you mean who they connected with?
So are they connected with Loughborough, like the university and?
Okay.
Yeah, that makes way more sense because Loughborough University is up by Leicester, and that's obviously a very big sporting university for the UK.
Okay. Well, that
makes more sense.
This picture I've got here there's like it looks like a standing area behind the back of one of the courts. That looks quite cool. Oh yeah.
Because Loughborough's, I've just looked and they've got the same logo, just a different colour.
Okay.
University of Portsmouth purple.
Well, I mean, look, Mark, so the Leicester Riders, I mean, they're not building a stadium. They've already got it. They've had it since 2016.
They all look like hangars, don't they? You said it earlier. All the stadiums.
Like World War II aircraft hangars.
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
Like when you see up in the rafters and the way they've got the rounded roofs and everything, all of them is really, really aircraft hangery.
I'm not sure what club it is, but there's one club where the actual seating goes up with the roof, and that looked really nice. But it's definitely one of mine. I'm not sure which one it is, but we'll get to that. But so yeah, Mark, Leicester Riders, huge players, got the MVP. Looks exciting.
I have a problem with them.
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say the logo, aren't you?
Hate it.
It's just a bit boring.
Right. Who do I support?
Dallas Mavericks, Mark,
Yeah.
or the Seattle Supersonics, depending on what mood you're in.
Look,
Oh God, here we're going to go.
if Seattle have a team come back, Cuban, I love you, but I'm dropping you. But the Mavericks have a horse, and their logo is a horse with the ball.
Yeah, you like a ball in the picture,
I like
don't
a ball, but at the moment, that just looks like an angry horse staring at me, or it doesn't look like a horse at all. It looks like something else.
You? What?
it just, yeah.
I hope their mascots are a horse.
It looks a bit like a phallus. Let's put it that way.
What are you on about?
Wow. I don't know. It doesn't.
I don't see that.
Okay, it just doesn't look. It from a distance. Then your eyesight's terrible. From a distance, look at that logo. You can't really see what it
looks like a shield. If I was going to say,
you know, when someone gets a tattoo, and from a distance you go, "Have they got like a splod on their arm?" And then when you get closer, you see, okay, there's just loads of detail, but they've done too much.
Like, look, when I zoom in, you look at the detail.
That's fine.
It looks all right, but yeah, from a distance,
Right. So now look at those pictures.
it just doesn't
of
look
those people
fierce.
there. I don't want to have
But
that
Mark,
on a t-shirt.
Look at that. Look at that action you're looking at there. Look at this. Look at the arena.
I have got no question
That looks
about
really
their
cool,
quality,
doesn't it?
the kit colours, everything.
Just a logo.
I just think either put a big ball behind it or something. They're just
Yeah, I know what you mean. You look at it and you go,
It gets lost.
It's one of the, I don't want to say boring, but maybe boring. But you look at the logo and go, all right.
it's in the same style. If you haven't looked at it now, it's in that sort of style of like Memphis Grizzlies, and when the Bobcats came out and they did all their logos and they had an animal, and they tried to make them look cooler, and they did, and they worked. And it's in that same type of graphics design, but. Yeah.
I don't think we're ever going to be invited to any of these clubs.
Please invite us. We promise we will behave.
What would you do
in
if
person.
Leicester Riders says, come to a game, but you got to wear a T-shirt
I'll do
with
it.
the logo?
I will do that.
If they do
100%
that, you have to support Leicester Riders.
No. I will wear the t-shirt and I will put.
Look, the Dallas Mavericks,
I will support
Riders make sense, Mark.
I will support them
They're
that
one of the best
game.
clubs for the last 11 years.
unless they're playing against a team that I also have a loyalty for. Then that'll be difficult.
Well, that's what I got for Leicester.
Great.
Huge team.
Huge team.
And yeah, there you go.
There we go. Well, that brings me on to...
This is a big boy, isn't it?
It is a big boy. London Lions. They have been around since 77. And what's funny is, you know, you can go look at their stats and look at their history, and it's pretty storied, it's fair to say. But I think the interesting bits with them, more that for me that stood out, was that for a long time they played in Milton Keynes. So from 98 to 2012, they played in Milton Keynes. And they were the Milton Keynes Lions. And then...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because London, you thought of the London Towers, didn't you?
Well, they originally started as the Hemel Hempstead Lakers in the 77, yeah? So any of my friends from Minnesota, they are very sore about the word Lakers, because obviously it was the Minnesota Lakers before they went to LA. This is another Lakers. But these Lakers obviously changed their name completely. So 77, they changed the name. And then Milton Keynes 98 to 2012. And then in 2012, they decided to leave Milton Keynes because we'd had the Olympics. And because we'd had the Olympics, I think it's Queen Elizabeth Park or Sport Complex, the Olympic Village, they had the courts available. So that's...
so they went there.
Yeah, so they play in, it was called the Copper Box. And I think it was for handball or some other sports. But it's called the Copper Box, and that's why it's based now in Stratford, I think it is. Stratford, obviously, where the Olympic Village is. But 6,000-seater. No one else has got
so that's the biggest seater
that's
in the league.
Monster, yeah. But it's an Olympic stadium.
But the guys also own the league kind of at the same time.
So the people who own...
The Copper Box Arena.
Yeah. The people who own them, London Lions, they also own the BBL. I mean, that's a weird conflict of interest, isn't it? That's like someone saying, I own the NBA, I'm a majority shareholder of the NBA, and I also own the New York Knicks.
I would say, when you think of it initially, perhaps. However, I would just say, if you have integrity, it is not an issue.
They're all owned by businessmen, so I would put a big flag on that.
Yeah, I mean, look at what's his name? The F1 guy, Bernie Ecclestone. He owned a team and he was involved. I mean,
I love that you're bringing Bernard Eccleston up as the example of integrity.
Well, he was a businessman, wasn't he? But
Yeah.
Did he ever put his team before the sport?
I mean,
I don't know. I'd have to look into the.
Whichever he got the most money from, he would have ultimately got the money from the support. So, yeah, he might have owned a team, but
actually, don't the NBA own some parts of teams as well? Don't they?
No, it was the other way. It's the other way. I think it's the teams own part of the NBA. It's that same model, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone who's listening, DM in as always. Hit us on Instagram or email. But
it's 45%, so he can't come in and say, guys, if we lose a game, you'll get docked 10 points.
Yeah,
they can't say that. So it's what it is, and it's in their interest to promote the sport. So
45% is owned by them. Probably 5% on each team are own that league. So where's the other percentage? Because there's 10 teams. That's 50%.
Well, I'm sure they go into decimals, maybe. 5.15%.
It could be 5.1. Could be as simple as that, 5.1%.
But
I don't know.
Well, so they're the big boy then.
They're the big boy. They're the ones that, they've got a lot of history. 87, 88, 36 years in the league. 2 winners in the BBL Championship. 3 winners in the Cup. Most recently in the BBL Cup, they 22, 23. So for the BBL Cup, they're the winners currently. And the BBL Trophy, 20 to 21. It's a very strange thing. I'm looking down here. You've got a BBL Championship, a BBL Cup, and a BBL Trophy. There's like three things here.
Yeah, so from my understanding is you've got the BBL Championship is the actual progression of the league. So everyone plays everyone twice.
Yeah.
No, sorry, 4 times, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not 4 times. Maybe you play 3 times because they're playing like 36 games. Yeah, that's right. They're playing everyone 4 times. Every team plays everyone 4 times. And whoever is at the top of the league, you win the BBL Championship. Then you've got the playoffs, and then you go and win the playoffs. And then you've got the BBL Cup and the BBL Trophy.
Yeah. So
they're both about March. They're just about to get rid of the BBL Cup, Mark.
Oh, that's
the one. My understanding. They're getting rid of it for an All-Star game. So London are the current champions, right?
Yes.
And just looking at this,
London Lions, and before that was Leicester. Who you were talking about then?
Yeah, but London Lions destroyed the league last year. Just looking at the table.
Yeah, they were absolutely.
They not only won it, but they won it by 14 points.
Yeah, they dominated it. And
Bristol are up there.
Do you know one of the reasons for that? So a nice little segue there. Well done. I don't think you even planned that, but last year was the first season that they had salary caps moved. So in the BBL 22-23 season, the first season that the £250,000 salary cap per team was gone.
So
you think
they're spending some money.
250 grand a team was their salary cap. That means the top player, if you're paying him 50 grand, you're giving someone else 10.
It's a part-time job then, isn't it?
Yeah. And that is part of the root of the thing of why didn't people take it seriously? It's because even at that level, that is the highest tier of basketball you could do in this country. People were getting paid part-time wages. And I'm not saying 20 grand or 25 grand or whatever it is part-time wage. That's a wage. But,
when you're first starting out on your job journey, you're getting 20 grand.
If you're a graduate and you've done something like that, 20 to 25,000.
That's what these guys could be getting.
And they're supposed to be a professional athlete at the top of their tier. And that's what they would be earning. And you think, that doesn't, the hours, it didn't seem to add up. So they've got rid of the salary caps now. And part of that is all to do with 777 buying them out. And very interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
So, why are we downplaying them? It feels like we are a bit, but they're a huge club.
Don't excite me.
They're like is it because a lot of people like the underdog? And does it feel bad to go, hey, I'm going to support Man City? Is it kind of that kind of thing? That's how it feels like for me.
London's our capital city, and it's the biggest city. It's got the biggest draw internationally. It's owned, the team is owned by the people who own the league. It's very difficult to be excited about that, where you go, in terms of talent pool, everyone,
Yeah, you're rooting for the You want the underdog. That's what it is.
do you want, well, who do you want to play for? I play for the UK team. Who are they?
Portsmouth Force.
No, you want to play for London. That's the shirt that you'd want, because if you went internationally,
Yeah.
the first, people in the States, you say, oh, do you know my friend? He lives in London. No, I'm 70 miles away. Oh, yeah, that's not too far. It is in the UK. I don't know my neighbour. Don't worry about who lives in London.
I'll tell you what, arguably, the Lions would be the easiest club for us to go and see.
Of course it would. Unfortunately, they've got the terrible logo. I don't know.
It's unique.
It's not.
It's
junk.
unique. It's like, what is it? It's like the world and a basketball put together.
If you go on their website and you look at their merch, it's like they've positioned it as a fashion brand.
Yeah, it is a fashion brand.
And when you look at it, when I go to merchandise, do you know what I didn't see? I didn't see any teddies. I didn't see any, I was going to say mouse mat, but I didn't see any things like an office bit or something like the NBA teams. You could buy a bin with your branding and something on it.
Most of that logo is London Lions, the words.
Yeah. I mean, the thing next
and then
to
you
it,
got the crown.
That's the world.
At the top.
That's a crown. That's a basketball, and that's the world. I mean, I don't...
You know what? I don't know if this is a silly thing to say. Why don't you have a really fierce lion as your logo?
So...
Is that silly to say?
Remind me again what the song is about football. 3 lions on the shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have lions on their shirt.
Yeah.
And the rugby players
They're
the British Lions.
No, they're roses, I think.
Yeah, they have roses, but there's always a lion somewhere. It's to do with it British. Somewhere there's
the British Lions. I know what you mean.
Called a London lion. Where's the lion? Show me
like
the
a lion head.
Like they could even do remember the old Grizzlies with that bear?
Yeah. Oh, the mascot got to be a lion mascot. Got to be, hasn't it?
When you're doing people can't see that, but you just did jazz hands.
Yeah.
That's like, it's not going to be a lion. It's going to be Chester the cheetah or like Tony the tiger kind of.
They've got to have a lion coming out as a mascot.
Do you know?
But I know what you mean. The logo, it's not as exciting. I think it's not as exciting. It's one of the least exciting ones, I think, because it's just text, isn't it?
Oh no.
What? Oh God. You know what they do, which I like?
Dude, I've just seen the mascot.
Oh, is it a lion?
Oh, mate. It's not good.
Oh, it's like a really friendly lion.
What is that?
It's got to be an old one, right? You thought it'd be like a huge mane hair or something like that, wouldn't it?
Oh, no.
Is he wearing the kit?
Yeah.
I think it's the marketing and.
I mean, they're saying it's a kind mascot.
Oh, I bet. Oh God, it markets London. I bet they're like, we don't want to upset anyone because the lion might scare you. So it has. That's what the lion has to look like.
I want to think the lion's going to eat my damn head off. I don't want to think, let's go cuddle a lion. At no point in my life have I ever wanted to cuddle a lion.
But you know what they have got on their kit that I really like is just like the London initials.
It's LDN.
I think that's very cool.
That is
I like that.
That looks very similar to do you remember the Brooklyn Nets last year when they did the graffiti and they had the BRKLYN, like Brooklyn, but they did it that sort of way. That is what they could do. They could 100% do that. That looks like. Do you remember those old LS or dodgy stuff from the 90s? Like,
do you know The Apprentice, that program when they go, right, we needed you to design a logo. Yeah. That's what that logo looks like. Someone's just gone, basketball world, do it.
It looks like an exercise book where, when you have to I give it to my daughter and say, hey, colour in the gaps. And they're going to, I'm going to do these different colours.
Mark, we are talking about the most prestigious club in the BBL here.
I don't care. All of their media is fantastic, and their media days and the stuff they do. Like they go to outdoor basketball courts, they get people flown in. They do awesome stuff because it's London. And that logo just says, we know we're London. We know you're going to like us or buy our stuff anyway, so we're not going to try.
Yeah.
And
I guess it's a bit like LA,
it's
New
making
York,
it a bit boutique-y. And
Orlando.
Yeah, but
I didn't think, I'm not a huge fan of the logo, but the mascot's worse.
I mean,
It should be like more of a mane. It should be. That looks like it's gone to a HR committee, and do you know the saying, a camel is a horse designed by committee? That's what I think when I see that. I mean, there's a couple of good pictures there. He looks quite a happy, friendly lion.
Listen,
maybe a bit more hair. I don't know.
If you
Someone cut his hair.
That's like the dude who turns up at the kid's birthday party, and you just go, "Oh, we've got some kids entertainers," and
I might follow London. I might just for that mascot now. I think someone needs to root for the mascot. I might do that.
If you are the mascot, drop us a ball, because I don't know what's going on there. Maybe we've seen something that we just think, like when you see the away jersey, someone's just said,
that looks a lot better.
Yeah, it's just like a random drawing that someone's done, and you go, that's what it should be,
Yeah.
not that, which looks like two drunk people at a pub, and they've just gone, "Hey mate, can you put this?"
Is that the London kit there though?
Here, take
This one.
Yeah. Do you know
looks
what?
good.
Do you remember? I think it's Frankie and Benny's. They used to have a person who was dressed up as a mouse.
Yeah, the mouse to sing Happy Birthday. No, congratulations.
literally,
that one.
They went to the same shop. They went, I want a kind of just a less aggressive.
I think they've overtalked that. Someone's overtalked that for sure.
All of the stuff all the money they've put in, and do you know what? It is part of I'm rooting for the underdog, but it's more the way the London Lions position themselves. If you look at the media, you look at the games, and look at how they play and stuff. Everything is on point, and it looks fantastic. Everything except the logo. I don't want to wear that logo. It looks junk. If you look at the Knicks, New York Knicks has got a terrible logo, but it's historic. That's why it's still terrible. And look at some of the other ones like Golden State's and that. Some of their logos are pretty bad in the NBA, but they've got a legacy to them. There is no legacy to that. That looks like a crayon drawing that I did when I was at school.
But if you want to jump on the bandwagon,
can you imagine how much they paid someone to do that?
And
they had to come out and go,
yeah,
I'm pleased with that. They probably paid tens of thousands to some design agency, and they gave them that logo, and they went, "What do you think?" And it's like,
it's gone to a company. It's not made by, I would say, with basketball in mind. It doesn't feel like it anyway.
It's like you want to get the fans passionate about it, whereas the way that they've done it and the way that they've done the logo and the brand bit, not the media, but the brand itself, it's like they're trying to promote London.
You have slammed them.
I don't care.
I feel there's a bit of injustice here.
No,
they're one of the best. They are the current best team.
So,
wow.
Okay. Also, when Man United were winning everything, or when Schumacher was winning everything, when all those people, or Jordan was winning everything, they didn't get slammed. It's like, if you're on the top, you're going to get your butt kicked, because there's a long way to go.
But if you want to support arguably the best team, they're the one to go to. They're the current champions. Is it 2 years in a row they've won it?
If you're a glory hunter, yeah. Well, it was Leicester before him.
Wow. You really want the underdog?
No. I want any of them to, I want the best team to win. And at the thing they're trading on there is that they're London, so London would win. Now you go, you know what? No.
Okay. Well, let's move on from that. Wow, it felt like a. Do you feel better for talking?
I feel a little more at peace.
Yeah. Wow. Right. So next up, we're only halfway. This is great. Look, this is good. If we're only halfway and we're an hour in, that's good. That says something about what we're talking about.
So that ends this episode of the Portsmouth Basketball Podcast. Part 2 of this interview will be coming out in 24 hours, so tune in for that one. But until then, wherever you are and whenever you're listening, we thank you so much for your support. Till then, bye-bye.